I'm gonna get back to that story, Sonny. Just, just you listen to Boomer Great One. He's gonna tell you about how it was back in the olden days, back before fire, back when we walked uphill for everything. In fact, we didn't even have a concept of downhill because there was no downhill. Everything was uphill. We thought that was normal. We didn't even have a word for it because there was no alternative. It was uphill all the time. You just need to reach down and grab yourselves by your bootstraps and pull yourselves up, Sonny. Because when I was your age, I bought a house for $25,000. And I made that money on my paper route and bussing tables at the local cafe. And if I could do it, you can do it too. You just need to reach down and pull yourself up and just buckle up there, buckaroo. God, I hate boomers.
What I tire of is the, I don't know, bait and switch or the not so clever, everyone can see through it, but apparently not because everyone's like, oh my God, don't say it. It's how Group X, I want an X study. I want an X field. Again, the brown-eyed guys. I want the brown-eyed people studies, left-handed people studies, guys whose names start with two vowels studies. And someone says that's absurd. Why would you do that? That's so you're left-handed or you have brown eyes. Your name starts with two vowels. Why would we create a whole industry? Because you're an istinophobe if you don't. And it's just a cowardly, thinly veiled shakedown of people who don't want to work. This is why I use the word traitism, because everyone's run into a trait they have or they make up. The number of not straight people, whether you're gay or bi or trans, the number of people who are legitimately actually gay, actually bi, actually trans is, I would say, a minority of those that claim to do it. You have the majority of people who identify as that are straight people looking to avoid real work. If we were to boil it down to its simplest, they don't want to work to become valuable to society. They want free shit. But that's just the latest incarnation. Well, this is my gender. No, it's not. You're straight and you're faking it. Get a normal hair color. Get a job. And the one that's been around, I think, the longest has been women's studies, which again, ignore everything they say. I want to be paid to study myself. That's it. Because I have vagina. Because of this type of plumbing down below, I want taxpayers and maybe some private money too to create an entire academic field, which it's fraudulent. It's not a real field. So I can study me and get paid for it. To which I retort, that's going to be the most boring thing in life because you should be sick of you. Aaron, what's the most boring thing in your life? Myself. I know everything about me. I'm the foremost expert. I'd rather do something that what else is out there? I don't need to. You don't need to hear Aaron Clary's studies. It'd be a very boring topic. And fuck if I want to teach it. But if you are above all else a lazy sack of shit who doesn't want to work, like that's what you're afraid of more than God himself, you are more afraid of a real job, you will go running to all these trait-based type of fields. I don't even want to call them college degrees, though they're obvious that they're there. But you'll do anything to avoid a job. And then with the cowardly and then also reputationally damaging claim that, well, you just hate women. And it's like, well, no, you're a coward and a hypocrite hiding behind the name and brand of women, accusing us of hating women, while also disparaging and lessening the reputation of women, acting like a lazy sack of shit and an intellectually dishonest hypocrite too. And man, there's no hope for none. Cappy, can we turn around? No, we can't. because it's taken y'all 50 years to figure out that something that on its face should have told you right off the bat was a scam and bullshit. Women's studies. So we're going to study being women. What? I mean, from an anthropological standpoint, okay, I could see that. But this academic horseshit show circus it's become now, where they just make this shit up. And you guys actually vote in people to give them taxpayer money. Well, there's hope, a little bit of hope. After 50 years, you all starting to wake up a little bit. Even women who are like, well, yeah, I'd like to study that, but it doesn't pay. Maybe people are realize, look, should there be feminist books? Sure, yeah, absolutely. Should there be feminist lectures and art and any kind of yes, go ahead. Do it. Should there be college degrees? If you are a private college with private money and you want to indulge the most insane, lazy, but wealthy trust fund kids whose parents can afford such a ridiculous degree, and that person can afford 4 years of their youth to waste on a fraudulent study, I don't care. You could study astrology. You could study the liberal arts. You could study social sciences. You could go whatever, as long as it's private. You could do whatever you want. You can make believe you're intelligent. Come up with institutions called universities. Oh, here's a bachelor's degree. You're only so. Oh, master's degree. You're really. Oh, PhD. You're a really good girl. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Here's your robe. Hey, you're so smart. SMRT. You guys, Harvard, go ahead. Middlebury, knock yourselves out. Go congratulate yourself with fake bullshit, all the private money in the world, not the taxpayers, because now it's a welfare jobs program. And man, we're so oppressed by men and the patriarchy. Show me where men get paid because they got a dick. Show me the field where I get to study dick studies. Show me that. The most spoiled group of people in the history of the planet, where you are paid to study yourself. Shut the fuck up, you parasite. Go get a real job and produce something about it. On the side, sure, come up with all the plays you want. Write all the books. Come up with as many magazines. Right. Don't tell me you're strong and independent while you suck off the taxpayer's tit like a goddamn leech. So when you sent this to me, and I think people have had it. There's no demand for this shit. UCSC, University of California, Southern California, Santa Cruz. Sorry, University of California, Santa Cruz. Faculty mourn loss of feminist studies department. No one cares. Current and former faculty of the Feminist Studies Department at UC Santa Cruz say they're disheartened by the decision to shut down the department after its remaining faculty said the loss of professors of the years left them with an unsustainable workload. What workload? What workload? Don't you just make it up on the fly? The 50-year-old Feminist Studies Department at UC Santa Cruz will be dissolved after its final remaining professors voted to de-establish the program, the university announced November 25th. The department is slated to officially close down next year on July 1st. I am very curious why the 5 remaining professors voted to de-establish it. Like, are you just done? Are you tired? Did you make your money and now it's over? Felicity Schaefer, a faculty member in the department since 2005, said it was a difficult decision to de-establish, but the loss of faculty over the years made it hard on those who remain. The department had 12 full-time equivalent faculty in 2017. This year, the department is just down to 1 full-time faculty member, along with 4 others whose appointments are split between feminist studies and critical race and ethnic studies. Okay, you still got your welfare jobs program. But what is the world starting to heal itself? Is the internet now starting to affect young people enough today to say this is a stupid fucking degree? Right? Did my book Worthless actually get out more than I thought it did? Or is it just what I really think is young people today, look what happened to the millennials and said, oh, fuck no, I'm not going to be a financial slave to my student loan debts until I'm in my 40s. And maybe, maybe women are just like, nah, yeah, I'm with you, sister, but I don't need no fucking $80,000 bachelor's degree for a women's studies degree. I'd be curious what's happening to other hyphenated studies degree. Fill in the trade, Chicano American, African American, uh, whatever. I know the liberal arts are taking a beating, but those specific degrees, even if you happen to be, say, Hispanic or female or black, and let's say you're the most rabid leftist American hating person ever, even they're starting to realize, look, that degree don't get me anywhere. I don't have 3 years of my life or 4 years of my life and $75,000, not to mention lost income opportunity to go basically be a college educated activist. I can just go be an activist. I could join Antifa right now. They'll take me. I got the right color hair. You aren't even getting the true believers to sign up for this college degree bullshit no more. That's what I got to imagine. And I like to see it because now that's less taxpayer money. Now they go to critical race. So the new grift. And you taxpayers, especially you Californian idiots, still falling for this. But if I vote against the African American Studies Department, it means I hate the black people. No, it doesn't. It means you actually care about them more because they're not crippling themselves with horrific student loan debt. It's too late for me, right? I'm on my way out. But god damn, man, how slow are you fucking people? How long does it take you to catch up to realize just what a bunch of lies and bullshit? Why back in the did the men, were you guys really that horny? You said, okay, let them have their women's studies degree. Really? Back in the 70s? You guys were like, yeah, this is there was no sane person. Were you all high on drugs? No one came in and said, that's the most ridiculous fucking thing I ever heard. No, we're not going to do it. If you're going to go do it at a private university. You're going to offer all sorts of dumb bullshit degrees because people are using their own damn money to pay for it. How did this last 50 years? How did some as stupid as genitalia, really? I mean, what are we going to study next? Like I'm not kidding. Left-handedness? What? Some people are born this way. Some people are born the other way. It doesn't really have an effect. I mean, there might be some things to say about it. And if you want to run a cult and go with, Team Flag, go with Tribe A. Oh boy, I love Tribe A. Well, then go do it with your private money. All this has been a welfare jobs program for talentless, disproportionate. They're not obviously not limited only to women. It's not only limited there. I'm sure there are men in the stuff or whatever you identify as today. This has been along with damn near all the liberal arts educations and all the social science departments. And I'll throw in psychology in there too, because you guys have no veracity in your academic studies. You have generations of boomers and Gen Xers and now millennial professors who are just a bunch of welfare parasites. And you know what? Dude, guys, it'd be one thing if you just collected a welfare check like the rest of the people, shut the fuck up and played your video games. The fact this country and this taxpayer base voted to create out of whole cloth a bullshit industry where you could feign like you're intelligent or a professional, where you could feign that you are anything other than a parasite. It's amazing. They're going to look back at this, the historian, the real ones, not the current ones we got now, like, erase everything. Communism worked. We just didn't know it yet. The real historians of the future look at them. Look at these arrogant, self-aggrandizing fucks. They studied themselves. Look at all this bullshit. And they actually got the taxpayer to pay for it. And then they came up with this magic trick called PhDs. And like Jill Biden, right? Dr. Jill Biden. They're still trying to, that's a hoodwink. They're trying to fuck you with your head. Oh, she's a doctor. No, she's not. She's an adult child with an IQ of maybe 95 who wasted tremendous amounts of whatever taxpayer money or somebody's money getting a doctorate in education. That's not a real fucking thing. Like, really, go get a doctorate in dog walking. The industry itself comes up with its own problem. Oh, you can't be a teacher unless you have a master's degree in education. Shut the fuck up. I don't think they're going to get rid of the liberal arts. They're not going to get rid of the social sciences. There's way too much fucking money being made. But at the end of the day, all it is a very elaborate welfare jobs program and an ego welfare jobs program to give you worthless fucking jokes of human beings and you academic hacks some kind of validity, or people like, I have a master's degree in what? Parasitism. That's what you got a master in. Work avoidance. That's what you got your degree in. And it's so bad now that some kids like, well, we're not doing this. Right? I guess in that way, it's a Ponzi scheme, right? You guys can't, Archer said it best. It's the circle. Why bother? He's like, what's your, I have a master's degree in what? And I think he says, was it anthropology? He says, well, what do you do with it? I teach. Well, who do you teach? Future anthropology students. He's like, well, why you do that? That's like completing the circle of why bother. And I think you guys have proven that your bachelor's degrees, which is your number one product you make, is so worthless and so life destroying in terms of the poor kids who choose to major in that shit, that they're avoiding it like the plague. And now you ain't got enough bread and butter to keep up the facade. And now what? You go and you go look for government grants, more taxpayer money to study some fucking created crisis. To show you an example of just how sad and pathetic they are. So there's that 4B movement, right? In South Korea, which it's not that big in South Korea. It's just it's obscure. It's fanatical. That's why it makes headlines, but it's not your average South Korean woman. And then Trump got elected in America. We're going to do the 4B movement, which it was a microscopically small few women. Because I don't see any women with their heads shaved off. I don't see anything. I haven't seen a shaved head woman yet. But if you went to the Wikipedia entry, oh my God, talk about a bunch of unemployable, twiddling their thumbs, women's studies professors and majors and doctorates or whatever. There was such a organized and fully fleshed out entry into the 4B movement. You're like, oh yeah, because you got nothing else to do. It's not a relevant movement. It's a bunch of freaks and morons shaving their heads. It's not germane at all to the evolution and current situation in society. But damn, did you all have a lot of time on your hands to create a whole lot of something out of nothing. And here we are. You guys lost your bread and butter. You lost your bachelor's students, huh? Oh no, now you got to shut down, huh? It's devastating that particular structure no longer works. Schaefer said, no, it's good. It's good. The taxpayer could save the money. You offer nothing of value to society. You are parasitic. She emphasized that incoming students will continue to be able to enroll in UCSC to earn an undergraduate in feminist studies, even after the department is dissolved on July 1st, because there are still many faculty teaching enough feminist study courses for students to earn credits for a degree. While the PhD program is suspended, graduate students in other departments can still earn a designated emphasis in feminist studies. So it doesn't matter. You're not getting jobs. Look, outside of teaching, what would you do which is obviously on its way out? What would you do? You'd go be an activist, right? Why do you need a degree for that? I'm actually trying to help you out. Who are those who are interested in feminism and women's rights and all that? You don't need a college degree. Go read the books, take in some seminars on audio, and go volunteer. You can still fight for what you think is women's rights. I think it's just a hate group, but that's a different discussion. I'm trying to save you 4 years of your life and $100,000, $150,000, maybe with lost income. Similar to a minor with fewer required credits. I'm actually really looking forward to another configuration of feminist studies, teaching and researching and event planning, working with events in another structure. Schaefer added, I got to look this gal up. Felicity Schaefer. Is it going to be stereotypical? I just want to know. Yeah. She's not that bad looking. I was gonna picture. I imagine something much worse. The vote to de-establish came after the department struggled for several years with departures of faculty members who moved to other departments or left for other universities. Feminist studies will always have a home at UCSC, but the current departmental formation has proven unsustainable and inadequate to providing a responsive space for intellectual exchange and connection on our campus. Another way you could tell if they're worthless degrees, why is this moving around so much? Honest to God, is when it's pablum corporate speak like that, except it's academic speak. The department traces its origins back to a program established in 1974 in women's studies. The program later earned department status in 1996 and became the first in the century to change its name to feminist studies in 2005. Currently, the department has 76 undergrad students majoring in feminist studies, 8 PhD students, and 17 graduate students in other departments. Blah, 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 blah. All unemployable. I'm sorry you wasted your time and not only your money, but the taxpayers' money as well. You could have done the exact same thing for free. Marisol LeBron, the most recent hire among the tenure-track faculty, said she's mourning the loss of the department. LeBron was hired in 2021 as a full-time associate professor with split appointments between feminist studies and chemical engineering. No, I'm kidding. Critical race and ethnic studies, another welfare jobs program. Departments confer a lot of meaning within universities, so to give up departmental status is definitely a hit to the visibility of the department, both within and outside the camp. No one cares. She wrote in an email to look out. Ours was one of the few formal feminist studies departments in the country, and I think all of us recognize the responsibility that came with that. Here she is. Yes, this one looks more. Yes, okay. In addition, LeBron and Schaefer, Nick Mitchell. See, there's a guy. And Jennifer Kelly are also split between feminist studies and CRES. Anjali Arandekar is the only faculty member appointed fully to feminist studies. The 5 professors collectively voted to close the department. LeBron said dual appointments are really taxing on faculty because even though professors are considering part-time in both departments, they typically end up doing full-time hours in both departments. You could just shut the whole damn thing down. Have some seminars, have some camps, right? A boot camp on, I'm not joking, a boot camp on feminism, right? I'm not saying there's absolutely no things of even tangible worth that haven't, like after 50 years, you must have come up with a thing or two. But I would say it's the same thing as economics. All you really need to learn about economics could be done in like maybe a 4 or 3 day boot camp. I'm not joking. In my own field, like that's bullshit. All this hype, all this academic research, throw it all out. I'm not kidding. Take away all your academics. Take the past 50 years of economic papers, PhD, throw it all out. It's bullshit. Cappy, there's got to be one. I'm sure there's one. Same thing. Why do you need a PhD? Just go have a camp. It'd be more efficient. It'd be more effective in spreading out the feminist message instead of people being crippled with bullshit courses and student loan debt. They'd be financially free. They could be more effective feminists, I guess, in their individual lives. I'm very disappointed, but it's something that happened. She said it's the 50th anniversary of Women's Studies Department. We've been a vibrant department that I helped build since the early 80s. We had thousands and thousands of graduates and thousands of students in our classes. I think we did no, you crippled thousands of people with worthless degrees and not a real study, not a thing. Honestly, you might as well had people. We got a bunch of people to believe in astrology. Have fun. Students have expressed similar dismay over the department's establishment. Tyler Branham, graduate in June with degrees in psychology and feminist studies. I told you psychology, guys. I told you. He said he felt extremely hurt and disappointed. I want to look at this guy who's going to tell me about my mental health. Let me take a look at this guy. Is this a guy that I'm going to trust with my mental health? Not now. That's a wrestler. I guess it is kind of a, let's go USCS. No, UCSC. I did it wrong. Nope. There's the LinkedIn profile. Feminist studies major. Okay, we got pictures here. Good times. Good times. What is all this stuff? Why can't I see a normal? Here, this guy. No, that's Ken Ferguson. This gal Wood. Here he is. Here he is. Dude, I ain't listening to you about my mental health. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Oh, God. Notable feminists like Bell Hooks and Angela Davis both spent time in UC Santa Cruz. I don't care. I don't care. You are the entire premise that you have value because of the way you were born, and you're going to milk that in a shakedown ideology that has evolved from equal rights to now a hatred movement. No, it's over. So where your main bread and butter was selling people worthless bachelor's degree, it's over. So you have to do something else. Oh, I know. They're going to vote for money. I know. They're still going to get their government. I know. I know. I just want to point out the little bit of a victory that even the commoners are waking up saying, that's a bullshit degree. I don't want that. If I really want to help out, I'll just volunteer my time and become an accountant. Instead of like all feminists who majored in it before me, I'll be a wealthy feminist who has a degree in accounting as a tax accountant or an auditor, and then I'll volunteer my time and money to actual causes. But then what will the academics do? I just go on regular welfare. I mean, come on. Come on. Just go collect your check and then go protest. Just be like everyone else in Oregon. Super chats. Oh, link below is my book, Worthless, The Young Person's Indispensable Guide to Choosing the Right Major. I'm not joking in an ironic sense. The people that would be ideologically against me, the advice I'm giving them would actually help them out tremendously. They would still be able to be just as effective in their political campaigning and their activism without these degrees. You don't need a degree in the political activism field. And if you got a degree in engineering or accounting or whatever it was, and you wanted whatever, Hispanic rights or whatever, a non-poor person has more time and freedom for extracurricular activities, political or not, than someone who's like, would you like cream with that? I signed a petition to get student loan bailout. Trump bad. Karen from HR. HR is hiring. Just make sure to get your master's. Yeah. I wonder if HR feeds on itself. Like you need masters. You need a master's in HR. Christoph Anon, $5. Women's studies has value. I taught my red pill men. Men's studies can be taught by fully tradcon women. We need to get rid of basically the bigotry in whatever trait it might be, your sex, your gender, your race. It needs to go all the fuck away. That needs to be done by private people, private sector, private institutions. If you want to talk about whatever, Chicano American culture, go do it. All right. But if you are going to school and the price is $100,000 in 4 years of your life, the government needs to come in there and say, no, you were too stupid. And this is why I say in the thumbnail, I say defund women's studies program. I'm not saying ban them. The taxpayer should there should be no taxpayer funding, right? I'm all for you. Freedom of speech. Talk about whatever you want. Go do your thing. You want to set up a circus and call it a university and give bullshit degrees? Joe Biden will be the first person up there to get your bullshit degree. All right. But the taxpayers, no. The government, in other words, the government can't actively fund or finance to crippling debt levels young people's stupid choices that will destroy them for the rest of their lives. And this includes people that more disproportionately includes people that I'd be ideologically opposed to. But at the same time, I can't deny, the worst thing to do to someone is to convince them to go into student loan debt for a worthless degree because, well, because they want to major in that, but it's going to be a financially crippling mistake. Like I did with that one kid that one time. Trump got elected. Da, da, da. I'm like, oh yeah, you should get a PhD. But the government shouldn't actively like grease the skids for young people to be fucking poor for the rest of their lives. But feelings and vote. All right, fine. I don't care anymore. And the same thing with that. There shouldn't be men's studies. That's ridiculous. That's stupid. What are we gonna do? We got too much. That's why I'll be perfectly honest. You know why there isn't a masculinity studies or male studies? Because we got more important shit to do. Like set up the sewer system or go get some oil, refine some gas, fix your cars. I mean, real shit. Oh my God. The inner meaning of the psychological epiphanies of the penis. My 500-page thesis and dissertation, financed by the taxpayer. Uber noob. 85, $5. Some degrees start the education on graduation. Want to know what a deadbeat husband was like? Try paying a student loan with a women's studies degree. Yeah. I ironically, this is one of the more pro-female videos because basically women's studies degrees are horrible for, well, anyone that takes them, but especially women, because disproportionately women are going to major in that. It is bad for your face. Same, I've talked about that. I think I even wrote about that in The Black Man's Guide Out of Poverty. It's like, yeah, you might be tempted to go major in whatever African-American history, but it's a horrible degree. You're going to cripple yourself financially. That's not in your best interest. But the hubris and arrogance of these people it's beyond reason. They're not going to listen to me. This piano life, $5. Please kill me for getting a master's in education. Francis from Philadelphia. I won't. You've learned your lesson and you're moving around. You have made your changes. Sam Whiskey, $5. Hey Bethany, going steady is cheaper than women's studies. Bethany, going steady is cheaper. You lost me, Sam. By the way, this piano, go check out the channel. He actually is a really good pianist. Sam, you lost me. A woman should go on a date with you. Well, anything's cheaper than a women's. I mean, really, you're just burning money and your time. If you dare me to make the observation, a young woman's time is more valuable than a young man's time because most people are interested in women's youth and beauty. So women are triple dying or triple killing it right there. You're burning your time, you're burning your money, you're burning your beauty. Okay, fine. It doesn't change the fact it's true. Anything's better. Anything's cheaper than a women's studies degree. It's like anything's better than hitting your toe with a hammer. Obviously. All right. Link below. Worthless. The young person's indispensable guide to choosing the right major. No one cares that your little club has been closed. We'll see you guys later, Toodles.